Is St. Augustine a good place to live? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. We're going to go over St. Augustine, the pros, the cons, the good, the ugly, all of the above in this video. So stay tuned. Here, my name is Melissa Anderson. I am with eXp Realty. And if you're watching this video, you're probably considering a move to St. Augustine. And we're going to break down if this is a good place to live. Is this going to be a good fit for you in the different areas of St. Augustine? Because I have a feeling, probably think immediately when you think of St. Augustine, you probably just think of the historic district, but it's so much more than that. And that's what we're going to go over in this video. So welcome. If you're new here, I try to bring you new videos each week all about moving to Northeast Florida, St. Johns County, what it's to live here, the different areas, home tours. And I work with buyers and sellers every day here in this area, and I am going to just give you the honest answer, my personal feedback, show you where people actually live, the lifestyle, and all the things that you need to know when you are making this big decision about, hey, is St. Augustine the right place for us? So what sets St. Augustine apart from other beach towns? Yeah, we have year-round sunshine as well, but what really sets St. Augustine apart is we have a really unique blend of history, community, natural beauty, the whole gamut. And in some parts of Florida that can seem really transient and overly touristy, which don't get me wrong, downtown St. Augustine does get really touristy, especially have you heard of Nights of Lights? Where we get millions of visitors every year. It does get touristy, but it's not overwhelming. And people move here and they stay. They absolutely love it. It's an amazing quality of life. And there's just a real sense of community that you really don't find most places. So the pace of life here is noticeably slower. And I always tell people that, especially if you're moving from the Northeast or busy areas where you're close to the city. This is a slow pace, a lot slower. There's a lot less hustle and bustle. So just take that into consideration. You're going to have to probably drive a little bit further out to get to places, although that's changing dramatically. We have so much new growth here in this area, which has its, good and bad. But so slower pace, having to drive a little bit further to get to places, but we're growing and we're growing with it. St. Augustine is about 40 miles south of Jacksonville, and we're about 2 hours north of Orlando. And when I say slower pace of life, think morning coffees on the porch, sunset walks on the beach, weekend farmers markets. It's a little big town. And it can seem you're on vacation, but this is just going to be your normal everyday life. All your family members who aren't moved down here yet are gonna be jealous. They're gonna come visit. You're gonna have a revolving door. It was so funny. I was 2, maybe it's probably been 3 weeks now. I went to go visit with some past buyers that moved here from Chicago, and they said they've had visitors every single month since they've moved in their house, and they were really looking forward to a little bit of a break because they really haven't had a chance to enjoy their house with just them in it. Because people, once they know you're here in Florida and the area that you're in, they wanna come visit. But where do people actually live in St. Augustine? And as I kinda mentioned at the beginning of the video, most people, when they think of St. Augustine, they think of the historic district, the Spanish colonial style, the cobblestone walkways. I mean, that's a lot to love, and yes, people do actually live in that area, but the majority of the population of St. Augustine does not. And we're gonna cover some of those different areas. And so you have the historic district, which I absolutely love. There's so many amazing restaurants down there, and you're not gonna find chain restaurants down in the historic district. These are all locally owned restaurants that are local to us, and I have quite a few favorite spots down there. I usually go down there every year. Well, not I mean, for my birthday dinners, but yeah, I go down there quite frequently for a girls' night out or just a date night or something like that. And right across from the historic district, you can go across the little bridge, is Anastasia Island. So that's also in St. Augustine, and that's close, and those are little suburban neighborhoods. So one is Anastasia Island, and you have a mix of there's little vacation homes there. You have family-friendly neighborhoods where there's kids. You have people who are retired, just living their best life over there. You have people who it's their second homes. Just you have a real big variety and mix of people on Anastasia Island. So beyond the historic district and Anastasia Island, we have in St. Augustine probably one of the bigger areas, which is World Golf Village. And World Golf Village, there's so many different communities. We have established communities, we have new construction, and we're going to cover some of those. So I currently live in World Golf Village. I love this area. I love being close to everything. A short drive to Costco, there's a Bass Pro Shop, there's Buc-ee's where I usually always get my gas except for on the weekend. Don't ever go to Buc-ee's on the weekend. I'm warning you. So, but yeah, it's super convenient. I have 3 Publix grocery stores right here. My daughter's high school is right there. It's 3 miles down the road. So it's the high school, and then the K through 8 is right there next door to it. We're getting a huge Walmart right across from the high school and then some outlying businesses from there. Pretty excited about that. Right now, our closest Walmart is in Durban, and that's about I don't know, maybe a 20-minute drive. It's not so bad. But in that Durban Pavilion shopping area, you got Walmart, Home Depot. Well, we have a Home Depot right here too now. There's also a Home Depot right at the end of my street. There's a Home Depot over there. There's a movie theater. There's lots of restaurants. There's Ulta, Old Navy, those types of areas. And then, of course, you have your neighborhood surrounding that. But World Golf Village area, we are right off of I-95. So we're just a short hop onto 95. You can go north or south, which makes commuting extremely accessible. And that's kind of what I like about it. We also have different shopping centers here. It is growing. Most of our schools are here. And yeah, it's becoming one of the most desirable areas to move to in Northeast Florida. Like I said, on 95, if you're commuting, if you're working in Jacksonville, it's just a straight shot right there. So some of the neighborhoods that we have, I would say the established ones are gonna be King and Bear, and that's right in World Golf Village, and they have their own golf course in there. King and Bear is a gated community. It's an older community, super established. It's a beautiful drive within there. And then they also have little surrounding non-gated neighborhoods in that area. Then, of course, they have all of their amenities. Then you have some new construction, Bannon Lakes. Bannon Lakes still has a ton of new construction in there. They're building that out. And they have, I'm trying to think. Yeah, they have their own amenity center. There's also a 55 plus gated community within Bannon Lakes. Right around the corner from Bannon Lakes, you have Parkland Preserve, which is another 55 plus community. And then World Golf Village as well also has a gated 55 plus community. Right across from Bannon Lakes, you have Markland. Markland is also a gated community, and it's a smaller community, less than 500 homes, and it's completely built out now. So I think they just finished construction maybe 3, 4 years ago. So it's relatively new in there. Multiple different builders in Markland. And then right down from that area, you're going to have Mirabella, which is an established community as well. Huge. From Mirabella, you have, I'm trying to think which area I'm going to. You're going to have some other communities, Sevilla, which is right behind, around the corner from Buc-ee's. And then you have, again, that's an older established community. Then you have Trailmark, which is new construction. It's on down in St. Augustine, and still you can build homes there. They have quick move-in new construction. It's a larger community set out in nature, miles and miles of walking paths and trails. And then also you can kayak there. There's a little waterway that runs in through Trailmark. And Trailmark also has a 55 plus community within it. Down from there, there's another community down from Trailmark, and the name is escaping me. It's a super small community. Again, it's newer. They just finished construction less than probably 3 years ago. Different builders in there too. and really, really cute community. I'll think of that. I'll add the name here when I'm going back to edit the video. Now, other neighborhoods in St. Augustine from here, you have Windward Ranch. That's a really cute community. It's gated. You have one neighborhood that I'm sure you're hearing all over the place, especially if you've researched looking to move to St. Augustine, and that's going to be Silverleaf. Oh, before we talk about Silverleaf, there's also Shearwater. And Shearwater is a new community. That one has their lazy river, super family friendly, tons and tons of kids in there. But you have a wide range of age ranges in there. Lots of opportunity trails, walking, nature, playgrounds, park, gardens, all of that. So that's Shearwater. Lots of new construction in there too. All right, so now let's talk about Silverleaf. So Silverleaf is set out to be one of the biggest master planned communities in Northeast Florida. It's rumored to be even bigger than Nocatee, which if you've been in Nocatee or looked at that, it's hard to believe, but that is what it's set out to do. And both of these master planned communities, Silverleaf and Nocatee, they're mixed use development. So you have residential and you have businesses inside there. So it's its own little community. You just get on your golf cart and you go places. You go have dinner, but Silverleaf already they're getting ready to open their own Publix in there and little outlying businesses. There's going to be a hospital in there, and it's multiple amenity centers are going to be in there. There's also gated communities within Silverleaf. There's different price points throughout. There's going to be schools, and I'll have to check time by the time I edit this video, I'll know, I'll have the time frame, but there also will be multiple schools that will be opening up in there. They'll start with K through 8 and then eventually get a high school as well. But you have a mix of young families, singles, young professionals. There's also 55 plus communities within Silverleaf as well, but it just attracts everybody. And they're there for ease of lifestyle, the amenities, getting around. It's community, that's a big one, and it's relatively affordable. And you might be thinking, so what is there? Mentioned that it's a slower pace of life. What is there to do recreation wise? And there's plenty of options. Of course, you have historic downtown St. Augustine to go to, where there's lots of different shops and restaurants. The beach. If you love the beach, there's a multitude of different beaches that you can go to. There's kayaking and boating, farmers markets. We have a really cute concert venue here. It was actually rated one of the top ones in the US, and I'll actually have to find that info and put it here, but the St. Augustine Amphitheater is an outside amphitheater, and that's where they have the farmers market as well. And I just went to my first concert there in December, actually. It's super cute venue, and I was kind of worried about parking, and you can park I think we parked maybe a few blocks away, and they have a free shuttle that comes, so we just parked, caught the shuttle takes you to the concert venue. When the concert's over, you just stand there, wait for the shuttle. It was so quick and easy. But we have all kind of different things, recreational things that you can do, and, of course, I mean, if you didn't wanna stay in St. Augustine, again, right here at 95, a short hop and a skip away from going into the city. And of course, in the suburban neighborhood areas, you're not gonna get the touristy tourists so much, but let's talk about the cons, maybe the downside to living here. So again, in the areas where we live, it's not so bad, but again, people do come here for vacation. So summers can get busy, the beaches, but we have our own kind of local beaches that we go to that you send me a message, I'll tell you, but I don't know if I want to put it on YouTube. But there's different beaches that maybe all of the locals go to, and we miss, unless you the touristy part of going to the beach, but personally, I just going to the beach without all the touristy stuff. So beaches can get busy, and I mentioned earlier, Nights of Lights, that is yeah. It gets really, really busy. So I think that starts from November through January. No, is Nights of Lights still going on in January? I think it ended earlier this year, but definitely November and December going downtown. Just prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for that. I mean, it's beautiful, but if you can go during the weekdays instead of the weekends, you'll do a little bit better off. But yeah, tourism is real. Okay, 2, another thing that kind of freaks people out if they're not used to it is that is hurricane season, hurricane preparedness. Unless you're living closer to the beach, which Anastasia Island, those areas that are closer to the water, I mean, you're gonna find those concrete block homes, but further inland, I mean, we may get some strong winds, but and 2, when you're looking for a home, you can see if it's in a flood zone or not. But most of St. Augustine's inland communities don't have the same impact as a coastal. And again, I've been here since 2014. We've had many tropical storms, a couple hurricanes come through. I've never evacuated. You can see it if you live in an if the house you're looking in is one and in an evacuation zone or two in a flood zone that can kind of help you make a decision if that's where you want to be. But most of these areas that I've talked about are not going to be impacted other than maybe some strong wind. And then growth is happening. So with so many people moving to this area, we have a lot of construction going on. We have road construction. They've been widening County Road 210 for some time now. There always seem to be widening a road, US 1, uh, yeah, County Road 16. There's a lot of construction. Things are going up, things are being built, and roads are being widened. So that's one thing to and we're also one of the fastest growing counties in all of the state of Florida. So St. Johns County is. And we have lots of new shops and restaurants opening. But again, with all the new people, this increases traffic. So keep that in mind. And I continue to see, this area just continuing to grow. But there's also areas that there's also different areas in St. Augustine that are country. If you wanted land or farmland or something like that on the outskirts of town. And there is one community too, and I didn't mention that, but there's Heritage Landing. This is around from Silverleaf. There's also Ashley Oaks. And Ashley Oaks is a community super small, but all of their lot sizes are half an acre or more, which is attractive to some people. And of course, we have different communities. There's horse communities where you're going to get an acre or more. Or, if you're looking for a home that's not in a neighborhood that doesn't have an HOA, those things are all possible. So, who would thrive in? Oh, I should point out too, I just did a video not too long ago, but did you know they just posted, so knock on wood, St. Johns County, for its size, was the only one out of, I think it was 100 counties in the US that had 300,000 around 300,000 or more residents that didn't report a single, let me say this correctly, criminal homicide. So St. Johns County reported 0 criminal homicides in the year of 2025. I thought that's pretty amazing. So if you're looking for safety. All right, so who does well in St. Augustine? Families, for sure, because we have so many schools, so many amenity-rich communities with schools already built in them. People are looking for that ease to have that. I think I left off a couple. Geez, there's so many communities here. I left off Beacon Lake. There's Beach Walk. If you want, you know what? Let me take a little sidetrack here. I have a relocation guide. And if you go to my front page of my YouTube channel, or I'm going to put it in the description below, you can see the link. You can download this relocation guide for free. And it talks about all the different areas, what there is to do. It's super, super helpful. It's a really great resource. I want to say it's probably 50 pages or something like that. But it's free to you. I'm probably going to do a video just covering the whole thing, but look in the description of this video if you want to check that out. It'll take you can click the link and then download it. So we have families, retirees, because you just heard me talk about all the 55 plus communities, but just because you're a retiree does not mean you need to be in a 55 plus. Like I said, all of these communities have different age groups within them because these retirees, you're coming down here for weather, ease, slower pace. You want to play golf, you want to go on the beach, you want a boat, and you're just enjoying that more relaxed pace. I know there's a ton of retirees that go down to South Florida, and we have a lot of people from South Florida that end up moving up here because they're over the hot. It's hot down there. It's hot. We get higher in summer, but it's even hotter down there. So they want to not be as hot, and it's packed. There's so many people that have moved down there. It's super busy. And they're just looking for ease in weather, maybe some semi-seasons, and a slower pace of life. You're retired. You want to enjoy it. And then I want to say there was also a stat that I read about the amount of remote workers that we have here. And so that's going to be another reason why you're drawn to St. Augustine. You can work from anywhere. You can be a remote worker, and we have a lot of those. And people want to take advantage of the no state income tax, and cost of living compared to other cities is really attractive. And we have a lot of big businesses that are headquartered here in Jacksonville. If you needed to go in or whatever, it's just a hop and a skip down the road. So think of that. And then also active people or active families or just active people in general who love the outdoor lifestyle. And I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to, they're just, we are stuck in our house for 6 months out of the year and it's miserable. There's nothing for us to do except for to stay inside because we're buried in snow. It's so cold and they love being active. They want to be outdoors. And this is a place where you can do that. So between the beaches, the parks, the waterways, the trails, there's always something to do outside. And so for the right person or the right family, it's an exceptional place to live. And don't forget St. Augustine, St. Johns County. We are one of the top rated school districts in the whole state of Florida. And I want to say we got bumped to number 2, but hey, that's still up there. And you still get the lifestyle with the beaches, the outdoor living, without the chaos and the expense of South Florida. So that makes it really attractive to people. And then you get a good sense of community and history here in this area. Like I said, it's a big little city. And that's hard to find in many of the cities in Florida. So if that sounds like you, St. Augustine might be the place that you're looking for. If you're seriously considering a move to St. Augustine, I'd love to help you explore the different neighborhoods and find the right fit for your lifestyle and your budget. You can reach out through my contact information, post it here, and then you can always find it in the description of the video. You can call, text, or email me, and I'd be happy to help you. And I guess before we end, I said I live in St. Augustine. I absolutely love it here. I love this area. To me, I love the proximity of being able to go to the beach, being able to go downtown, the historic district, being able to just jump on I-95 and go into Jacksonville. It's really a great location. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Our sunsets, which I know all places get beautiful sunsets, but they're just no other. And some nights, well, not now because it's chilly. January is one of the coldest months here in our area. But it's nothing for me to just get in the car if I wanted to go. If you want to go on sunrise or sunset to the beach. And I love that proximity. I don't take it for granted that I get to live here. It doesn't get lost on me. That's for sure. But again, if you're considering this area and you want more information, don't forget about my relocation guide that I mentioned. It's going to be a link in the description. And use my contact information and reach out and let's work together. All right, until the next video. Oh, if you stuck around this whole time, you watch this whole video, you would do me a favor and go ahead and like this video and subscribe so you can be notified of my next one. Thank you so much.